Chtěl jsem samozřejmě dohrát Division, ale 2 hodiny ještě nepůjdou servery, protože tam fixují nějaký bug. Takže tady storíčko. Jsem skončil minule. Jo, tady. Jo, už vím. Už vím. No to musí určitě nějak po sobě, já vím, že jsem se na to minule vystral. Ale to asi vypadá nejlíp. To už je tady jenom tohle. Kámo, tak jak se na to nemohl minule přijít. Ty piče, tak to je něco pro mě, kámo, fialová. Ty kráso. Červená je vpravo dole a vlevo dole. Červená. Červená. Jo, tam je zelený. Good. S tom se těším, že z toho praskal uši, vole. Kam jsi zalezla, ty gerdo?
Charming. Hurry up.
Yes, Dr. Elfimova. I'm doing whatever I can. Get this damn tap open in the end, you'll see. That's it.
Well, that should convince the Yukon scum to strike camp and go back where she came from. Come on, Helmet. Let's not hang about here.
Yes, of course, Dr. Elfimova.
What a catastrophe.
Too dangerous without some kind of receptacle underneath. Too dangerous without some kind of receptacle underneath.
Wow, jde kód odpusil.
Hydrochloric acid. What a catastrophe. This thing is stuck.
Co to z toho vůbec teče?
You've got to be kidding. I have to get rid of this chain. Fast.
S tou kyselinou, ne?
What a catastrophe.
Nic já nemůžu. A nic není.
An old gas can. Empty.
Čo jsem chytrej.
What a catastrophe. You've got to be kidding. I have to get rid of this chain. Fast.
Makej. Slabý přistání.
Quickly, or all ostriches lost. What will become of tribe if ostriches die? Miss Catwalk, help please!
Co se děje?
The Yukos are going to be overwhelmed here soon. I have to help them, quickly.
Ostriches maybe die poisoned?
Miss Catwalk, help please!
Buď tady běhat dokola jako vojně a třeba se něco stane.
Engenemuk. Tuk. Bikolet. Miss Catwalk. Senvenu tuk. Meninir Buruth.
Co mileš?
I wanted to warn you. Your ostriches mustn't drink the river water. It's important. They can get really sick.
Buruth still find way to keep some. But snow ostriches always want and need much water. Or they get very sick too.
Try to hold them back as long as possible. There must be a way to filter the river water.
Unganimuk. But Miss Catwalk, go quickly.
Miss Kate Walker.
Hello, ma'am.
You remember me, Miss Kate Walker? Me, ayahuasca. Great Yukul shaman. Me go there and find you somewhere there in the world of the spirits.
So you're the one I owe my life to, Madame Ayahuasca. It's you who cared for me before taking me to the doctors in the Valsambor clinic. I don't know how I can ever thank you.
Tuk. Miss Kate Walker go clean river water right up there. Since she traveled long time in magic world, spirits now her friends. They will show her the right path.
Very well. If you say that the spirits are going to give me a hand, I'll try to do that. Ladies and gentlemen of the spirit world, if you want to show me the way, now's the time. Just had to ask, I guess. This gauge is obviously for measuring the water flow from the dam. I have to find a way to use this dam to filter the diesel. I have to try.
Jo, tady jsou nějaké vysvětlivky. OK. Zavřít. To je zavřený. Good.
The water is clean now, but who knows how much damage has already been done.
Už to mám, madam.
Thank you for saving Great Herd. First guide not come back here. Now all water poisoned. Not good signs.
Bairtla, Miss Ketwalk. Thanks you and spirits. Ostriches saved.
Be careful all the same, Mr. Barut. The dam filtering the water may not hold very long.
Za! Yukos leave here fast to make sure Ostrich is safe. But not possible without Kirk. Him our guide.
I just came from the clinic. Kirk and I shared a room.
Za! How going, Kirk?
He's not doing too well, I'm afraid. Dr. Efimova, who's looking after him, is a lacko, as you say. A real nutcase who hates your people. For some reason, she's doing everything she can to keep Kirk in that damn clinic.
What? Dr. Zamiatin, friend of the Yukos?
Dr. Zamiatin is old and seems weak. And Dr. Efimova has the poor man wrapped around her finger.
No, Kirk. Yukos cannot leave here. So ostriches want continued journey without Yukos. Can't keep ostriches here very long. Ostriches cross Lake Valsambor alone. And then eaten by lake spirits. Tuk.
The ostriches crossing the lake, so that has to be a part of the migration?
Tuk tuk. Baranur, on other side of lake, is path of sacred plains. Ostriches lay eggs in hot sand on sacred plains. But lake, not any more frozen, so not be able cross.
Listen, Mr. Barut, do your best to calm your ostriches while I go to Valsambor. I promised Kirk to go get his prosthesis and bring it back to him.
Bartla tuk. Miss Ketwalk, you friend of Yukos.
I'm going to speak with the shaman now.
Ayahuasca will be very happy. See Miss Ketwalk. She go with you and around you a lot in world of spirits, so they free you. You not die because of her. Miss Ketwalk, go and see Shaman Ayahuasca to speak about Kirk.
sežrát.
So give me 50 grams walnuts. Cheap, cheap, cheap. A good deal, not cheap.
You know, Mads, you really do have a good nose for business. All right, then, please give 2 kilos, young man. But, oh gracious me! My wallet! Someone has stolen my wallet! Hey, you! Give it back this instant! The townspeople are right. You yokels, ever since you got stuck here, you've been showing what you're really like. A bunch of chicken thieves, that's all you are.
Dimitri, what's going on?
What's going on is that people are right to think what they think when they see this. Those damn yokels have it in their blood. This little pipsqueak here stole my wallet.
Don't your wallet. I'm your wife, remember? You gave it to me just a while ago so I could buy this pretty ostrich feather shawl.
Well, anyway, that guy don't feel right. Let's get the hell out of here before you bankrupt. He can keep his artichokes.
Things went better with the Yugels before, that's for sure.
What an amazing jumble. Not at all like New York markets.
Mhm.
When you get into Valsenborg, drop by my tavern. It's got the best food in town.
Catastrophe with ostrich water mist close. Thank you, Miss Catwork.
Hello.
What odd clothes you're wearing there, young lady.
I can go inside this yurt. Those ostriches are absolutely adorable. I wonder if I can...
Oh. That was too much stressing.
I don't understand why the mayor put the Yukos on our doorstep like that.
Catastrophe with ostrich water mist close. Thank you, Miss Catwork.
Before Yukos could always use that in cabin. Then hey, visit town.
Ale jako mají hustý domečky, no.
What a pretty pattern. If only I had the time to take a little nap.
Co mi tady hledat? Svíčky.
What a pretty pattern.
Všechno? Asi jo? Kde to je šamanko? Myslím, že to bude tady prosím týpí. Tuk tuk.
not to feel intimidated. The clinic. I hope Kirk is okay up there. The clinic. I hope Kirk is okay up there.
Nějakou svoji.
A checkpoint for the municipal employees.
Stop! You may not pass.
May I ask why not?
Miss, as the inopportune loitering of the Yukon nomads in town was proving to be disturbing the tranquility of the inhabitants, Mayor Bullekin has ordered access to Valsambor to henceforth be restricted to those presenting a duly stamped pass, which confers the authorization to access said town.
What disturbing impact on tranquility could the Yukos be accused of?
Degradation of the public infrastructure, petty theft, shoplifting, begging, the entire felonious panoply typical of such a person.
And do you have any formal proof against them?
Without a pass, you shall not pass. Give that to the nomads. Maybe they'll get a good price for it. The pass to the town?
No.
Do I really need a pass?
Indispensable. So cease arguing and keep moving.
Since he seems so nice, I doubt I'll be able to cut a deal with him.
Začal, počkej, se otočí a... Razítko.
A stamp. Looks like something's missing, though.
No, to by nebylo ono, aby něco chybělo.
Stamps. But not one is the right shape, of course. Given the living conditions here, I can understand why the policeman's so nice.
Ne, tam něco bylo.
There's a shape ingrained in the leather. An old sponge. It's all dried out.
Takže ještě budu muset najít jen ghost.
Only the stamp is missing. How practical. stamps. But not one is the right shape, of course. Nothing useful here. Do I really need a pass?
Indispensable. So cease arguing and keep moving.
Since he seems so nice, I doubt I'll be able to cut a deal with him.
Must clean cabin so nuts get fine.
A checkpoint for the municipal employees. The clinic. I hope Kirk is okay up there. A squid lying in a puddle of ink. Poor creature. So that's the famous lake that won't freeze anymore.
Tam víme, kde je Ghost.
Now all client tourists think yokels are thieves.
Sinister. Superstitions seem pretty firmly in place here.
Tady je šamanka.
Ha, Miss Kate Walker. You have good news?
To be honest, nothing great. Kirk, your young guide, is in the hands of Olga Efimova. That woman has the director of the clinic, Dr. Zamyatin, under her thumb. She also seems to be in tight with a shady soldier. These people hate you, Ayahuasca. They can't stand your way of life. They're the ones who poisoned your ostrich's water. I think they're also holding up Kirk's prosthesis to keep him in the clinic and stop you from continuing your migration.
People not like Yukos now. Yukos out of date. Took. Without guide. Not able to continue great voyage. Return to north and never leave again. And then ostriches die.
Well, hold on. We're not at that stage yet. I promised Kirk I'd go to Valsambor to bring back his mechanical leg.
Took. Magic leg not only problem for Yukos.
If the lake doesn't freeze, your herd won't be able to cross it. I suppose your ostriches can't really swim. It also seems to me that the lake really has a bad reputation.
Miss Walker see very clear. Now, many very, very bad spirits on lake, and also after. Baranor, very dangerous. Bad luck everywhere. Ayahuasca very, very scared.
There may be another way to cross the lake instead of waiting for it to freeze. I'll find out when I visit Valsambor.
Why Miss Kate Walker decide to do all this for us?
Without the Yukels, I would have died of cold and hunger next to a Siberian river. It's only natural I should give you a hand in return.
Look! So Miss Kate Walker decide accompany Yukels on great journey?
We'll see. First, I have to go to Valsambor. But like you, I seem to be a prisoner in this camp.
Yukels not have right to go to Valsambor now. Miss Kate Walker like them. Now she must find pass so that she able to leave here.
Where can I find a pass so I can leave the camp?
Before, Yukels could make use of pass machine in cabin at camp exit. But authorities decide break it in small pieces, so now we cannot use. Miss Kate Walker should ask client tourists in Valsambor.
Strange the lake taking so long to freeze. This must be a consequence of global warming.
Bad spirits at bottom of lake make water very hot. Really nasty bad spirits everywhere now.
I was told about everything your tribe did for me when you found me. Thank you so much.
Miss Kate Walker cured. That's what counts. Job of ayahuasca.
I'm going to try to find the pass that you told me about.
Miss Kate Walker, go quickly.
What a funny smell. Ayahuasca's owl. It looks as stubborn as ever. A hide. Must be for making clothing. What a strange sculpture. Looks like a kind of octopus or squid. Sir, excuse me.
Hello, miss. You're not actually from here. I can hear it. What on earth is a young American doing in our beautiful land? Business? Or perhaps tourism?
Oh, it's a long story, believe me.
I see. In any event, you must try and visit our town. You know, Valsambor is very charming this season. And may I suggest you drop by my tavern? It's the best restaurant in town.
I'd love to do a little sightseeing, but for that, you'd have to be really sweet and give me your pass for Valsambor. How much do you want for it?
Take it easy, miss. If I didn't have a pass, I couldn't even get home. However, I may just have the answer to your problem. This is my wife's pass. She's not well, so she couldn't come with me. The document is perfectly valid, except she forgot to get it stamped at the town hall.
And that's a problem?
I'm afraid so. Without the stamp, the document is worthless. Not that long ago, you just needed to get it officially stamped at the police checkpoint, over there at the camp gate. But there hasn't been anybody there since the town decided to come down hard on the U-calls.
So this pass is useless?
Not necessarily. You need to add a stamp that looks like the official Valsambor seal. The police aren't that sharp-sighted around here, I have to admit. Anyway, I didn't say a word. Good luck, miss. And don't forget to drop by my tavern when you're in Valsambor. When you get into Valsambor, drop by my tavern. It's got the best food in town.
Čeknu do voskou to razítko musím dát, ne? Zřejmě. No, to by potřeboval jen ghost, ale...
The Yukol craftsmen must make these statuettes by the dozen. This forge is magnificent. Hello.
You look muck, Miss Catwalk. Need something from Forge?
Well, yes, I do. I need a stamp that has the same shape as the Valsambor seal and that I can use with the press at the camp gate.
Complicated. Need model. Tuk tuk. You have that, Miss Catwalk? Complicated. Smith also need wax for mold.
Všechno mám.
Good job. Stamp ready in not long time.
Keep moving.
This logo is exactly like the Valzambor stamp. That's not right. It doesn't work. Let's try something else. A squid lying in a puddle of ink. Poor creature. Stamps. But not one is the right shape, of course. Nothing useful here.
Takže
let's try something else. Not a chance. I have to find a way to attach the stamp or it'll fall out again. No way.
Ty vole, tu žínku jsem si nevzala. Jsem nevěděl, jestli si můžu vzít. No, tak se musím vrátit k olivni.
There's a shape ingrained in the leather.
Můžeme jít na to. Co to vzal? Oh shit.
Hello, Miss Walker. Very happy to finally catch up with you.
Who are you?
Nick Cantin at your service, Miss Walker. Honorable detective from the East Coast, hired by your employer, Marston and Lormont, to frog march you back to New York. You're wanted there for a variety of infractions. Misuse of funds, embezzlement, etc. That should do. It's a long list, Miss Walker.
What are you talking about?
You're accused of having embezzled the profits from the sale of the Vorarlberg factory, Miss Walker. To do so, you're suspected of taking advantage of the senility of one of the heirs, and even of having murdered him. I'm sure you'll agree that's a pretty good reason for you to go as far away as you can by train for months. In the cold and snow. But now I finally have you. Hold out your hands, please. They're waiting for us in New York, Miss Walker.
Mr. Canton, I don't know how much the people who hired you promised for delivering me to them. But if it's only a question of money, maybe...
Stop right there, Miss Walker. You're being a tad insulting. Listen, my professional integrity has never been in doubt in over 20 years of work. Come on, wrists out. Mr. Marston? Finally, I have her. Yes, she is safe and sound. I have Miss Walker under control. I'll keep you informed of our progress. It'll take a day or two at most. I suppose there are a few procedural obstacles to overcome before we can leave the country.
Listen, all these things I'm accused of are completely untrue. Hans's murder, embezzlement, it's nonsense. And while we're wasting time here, I can't help the Ukels. And believe me, they really need it.
I am not your enemy, Miss Walker. If you haven't done anything like you say, it's in your interest to go back and defend yourself in court. There's nothing left for you to do here anyway. Not everyone here is your friend in these parts, I'm afraid.
Well, all right, Mr. Canton. You win.
I'm glad you're finally being reasonable, Miss Walker. Now we just need to wait for the representative of the regional military authorities for the administrative procedures. I don't think it'll take long to get our papers, so we can leave this place then.
How long do we have to wait? I've been through a lot over the last few months, you know. I'm recuperating. I'm still a bit weak.
Well, it could take a few hours at the outside.
Would you mind bringing me a glass of water? I don't feel too well. I feel a bit dizzy.
I'd have to leave you here in the meantime. I'm not sure that...
Please, Mr. Canton. I really think I'm going to faint.
Don't worry, Miss Walker. I'll see what I can do. But don't move.
Quick! I have to get free and get out of here while Canton is busy. Useless. A glass bottle. Maybe if I knock it over. It didn't break. God, I need to find something else.
Nedostanete Hezky krysy. Však teď někdo přišel dovnitř, ne? No, podívej se ještě, kolik máš čas.
All right, let's get out of here before Canton comes back.
Miss Walker! No, wait! I have an arrest warrant for this woman. Arrest her! Oh! My pass! Give it back to me! Immediately, you hear?
Wow.
That big boat, the Crystal, it's been rotting at the dock for years.
Things are heating up for Mayor Bulyakin.
Believe me, it's a really good thing that the nomads can't just come and go around Valsambor as they please anymore.
My squid is absolutely fresh, miss. Listen, miss, it's fresh.
Since the town hall closed the port, we sometimes get the impression we're living in a ghost town.
It's because of the lake monster that the locks are closed. "20 years the port's been left to rot. Damn Baranur."
Tak jsem asi až potom. Hospody bych chtěl zajít, tomu se líbím, to určitě ze všem pomůže. Už jsem blízko.
My dear sir, you are in a pitiful state. It might be a good idea if you go home and sober up a bit.
R-E-N-O.
Pardon?
It's me, Captain Obo. Obo! Proud commander of the just as proud crystal. So don't you, sir, me.
Well, delighted. Captain, I'm Kate Walker. I'm looking for Steiner's, the clockmaker.
If I fall in the water, Taylor, it'll be to go straight to hell. So don't fall in the water, sailor. You understand? Bastard's waiting for me.
Who are you talking about?
The monster of the lake is waiting for us all, miss. Everyone's time comes eventually. To finish the work. Come on, back in the fight. Because you can never lower your guard. Never.
To je tak smutný. Nevím. Nejdřív hodináře. Pěkná kára. To je Škodovka. Nebo Lada.
tavern.
I'd rather be like...
Someone stole 3 chickens last night. I bet it was those damn thieving Yukos again.
Yeah, we can't always accuse the foxes. You should go see about complaining to the mayor with all the others.
I can't understand why those damn savages are stuck here. It's not like anybody's making them stay the damn pit. Ah, miss, delighted to see that you finally managed to leave the Yukol camp.
Yes, thank you very much for the pass.
Well, now that you're at last here, you'll be able to taste my famous borscht.
It would be my pleasure, but I do have to find Steiner the clockmaker right away.
Simon Steiner? Ah, in that case you should speak with Sarah, our young waitress. She's his granddaughter.
I met that man recently. A certain Captain Obo. He doesn't seem very with it.
And he's been that way for 20 years, miss. 20 years. Can you imagine? He used to command the Crystal, the boat that made the crossing between here and the amusement park, on the other side of the lake. And he wasn't the same man then.
Is Simon Steiner well known here in Valsambor?
For a long time, he was rather popular. You know, he isn't just a clockmaker. He knows everything about mechanical objects. He repaired everything for everybody here in Valsambor. He also designed the amusement park on the other side of the lake with a colleague of his. A French automaton creator, if I remember. You could say Valsambor owes a lot to Simon Steiner, miss. So when he got sick, I offered to hire Sarah to help a little. You understand?
How are things in town? They don't seem to be going that well.
If you ask me, the atmosphere is horrible. At least half the people don't want the U-calls right at our door. Most of the shopkeepers even made the decision to go on strike over what they saw as unfair competition. Also, Valsambor hasn't been the same in the last 20 years. There it is.
I'm off. Thank you again for your help.
See you soon, miss.
That's the nice man who helped me leave the Yukol camp. I should go thank him.
All those youngsters trying to act smart to impress the Steiner girl. It really gets to me.
That shape there in the water. What is it?
The lake is haunted by a demon. It's watching me. Waiting. I can feel it.
And it's been hard to sell our produce since the port closed. And now those nomads show up and undercut us.
Excuse me, please, miss.
Yes?
I'm looking for Simon Steiner.
Simon Steiner is my grandfather. My name is Sarah. Sarah Steiner.
Pleased to meet you, Sarah. I'm Kate Walker. Can you tell me where I can find your grandfather's workshop?
Of course. You'll find his shop is at the end of the alleyway, on the left, just as you leave it, in the main avenue. Can I ask what you want with him? Because he's rather old, you know.
I'm accompanying the Yukol caravan. Apparently your grandfather is supposed to be making a mechanical prosthesis for Kirk, their spiritual chief, who had a bad accident recently. Without the artificial leg, Kirk won't be able to go along with the great migration of his people. And on top of that, the Yukols won't leave without their guide.
You're accompanying the Yukols? My God, you're so terribly lucky. When I was little, Grandfather used to tell me all about their adventures, full of mystery and magic.
You seem to like the Yukols, Sarah. I get the impression that's rare in Valsambor.
It's true that when it comes to the Yukols, people around here can be a bit silly. They go out of their way to make the nomads scapegoats for all of the town's problems since they got stuck here.
But you don't, do you?
Of course not. Grandfather told me that he has actually seen 3 or 4 of the great ostrich migrations in his lifetime, and he always really respected those strange people. He even made sure I would admire them too, you know.
I guess you're pretty close to your grandfather?
Yes.
To asi odjíš, to
Of course he can get a bit grumpy, especially the last few years. But he's actually really adorable, and you should see the work he does. Give him a few cogs and springs, and he'll give you some unbelievably incredible invention. He almost makes mechanical objects seem alive.
I see exactly what you mean. I used to know someone like that too.
The only problem we have is that business collapsed when he got sick. I really do believe that if I didn't have the waitressing jobs to make ends meet, we'd probably have to close up shop.
Do you like life in Valsambor?
Oh, there's really not that much to talk about here, you know. I spend all my time here or with grandfather since he got sick.
There was no one who could keep an eye on him for you?
We can't afford it, I'm afraid. I also think I prefer it this way. My grandfather is my only family.
Thank you for your help.
I'll be stopping in to see grandfather on my next break. Maybe I'll see you there.
Yes, I hope so. Goodbye, Sarah.
Come on. Skoro doleva, ne?
Lost your way, pretty girl?
Steiner.
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 Hello. Are you Mr. Steiner? I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Steiner. My name is Kate Walker, and I've come to pick up the prosthesis for Kirk, the Yukal spiritual guide.
And well, dear Miss Walker, Dr. Efimova has informed me that the young man was not yet in any sort of condition to withstand the operation, and that...
Mr. Steiner, are you all right?
It is impossible. That pendant you have around your neck. I would be very obliged if you would entrust me with it for a moment. Please, Miss Walker. Mein Gott! An XZ-2000 automaton heart in perfect working condition. A compensating spring memory. Pendulum ventricles and small mechanical pumps. Everything seems in excellent condition. Donnerwetter! Where on earth did you steal this, Miss Walker?
What? Are you calling me a thief, Mr. Steiner? I haven't stolen anything from anyone. This is all I have left of my friend Oscar. Give it back to me right now.
Ah, so. And yet I am actually very familiar with this type of precision mechanism. An infernal precision. Incredible, unique expertise. For this was a Vorarlberg automaton, Miss Walker.
Yes. It was Hans Vorarlberg who designed this object. Tell me, did you know him?
Oh, yeah. He even lived here a few years. We did a lot of work together. He taught me so many different things, you know. So it is useless to try and make up silly stories, Miss Walker. And I am afraid that I am not about to allow you to leave here as long as you have not told me the truth about where this object comes from.
Mr. Steiner, Oscar was a very special automaton. He inspired almost human emotions. But today he doesn't exist. He isn't dead, of course. Because what has never lived cannot die. Oscar was just dismantled. It had to be like that. All that I have left of him is that heart. A heart made of metal.
It's far more than just a heart, miss. It's far more like a kind of mechanical hard drive. A computer that is full of cogs, gears, and springs, but...
Mr. Steiner, are you all right?
My heart... need... my medication. Quickly!
Just don't move. I'll go and get your medication right away. No medication in sight.
Make yourself right at home. Don't mind me. I just own the place.
Who would store medication in this mess? An old press clipping. Kirk's prosthesis, but it looks like it isn't finished. Fantastic.
Tady jsou ty léky.
Who would store medication in this mess? Still nothing. Who would store medication in this mess? Who would store medication in this mess? A woman's writing saying, "Grandfather, don't forget to take your medication 3 hours before dinner."
Jo. Zapomněl. Mohl by aspoň říct, kde jsou?
A prototype for the clinic aviary? Empty. No medication in sight. No way.
Raději by to taky šlo.
No medication.
Já vím.
That could do him more harm than good. A prescription. No medication. Nothing that could help him.
Taking some more.
Nothing that could help him. There's no point. That could do him more harm than good. All that clattering must get really tiring after a while. Tea.
Kurwa. Odpoledním čaj.
Woman's writing saying, "Grandfather, don't forget to take your medication 3 hours before dinner."
3 hodiny před večeří. Kdy je večeře?
My heart. I need my medication. Quickly.
No, to si počkáš, kámo. Musím ještě druhou.
Tea.
So, you would abandon me to my fate?
Empty.
Co já vím, kde máte skurvený čaj, ty vole. Za 5,5 ukazují tady všechny hodně. Teda většinu. No to je krása.
Who would store medication in this mess? A woman's writing saying, "Grandfather, don't forget to take your medication 3 hours before dinner." Who would store medication in this mess? Still nothing.
Počkat. Jsem kokot. No. Ty krása. Normální lidi večeří v 5, dobře. No a ty taky ještě potřebujeme.
A prototype for the clinic aviary? Nothing that could help him. No medication in sight. All that clattering must get really tiring after a while. Jsem ztracen. Kirk's prosthesis, but it looks like it isn't finished. Still nothing. Who would store medication in this mess? fantastic.
Za chvíli už budou 2. Třeba pak se to dropne. Jestli to bude fungovat. Měl být 2, kurva! No. Já se zatím ještě podívat dolů. Když se tady už všechno mám, prostě teď už. už prostě nic není.
All that clattering must get really tiring after a while.
Už to bude. Čas dřív umře. Oh no way. No, ty krásu, tak to fakt nevím, jako co mám dělat. To nebude. Jsem idiot. 2 ampulky. Odpolední čaj. Musím přijít prostě na to, kdy je odpolední čaj, vole. Večer hodin ukazuje za 5. Za 5 půl třetí. Co 2? Tak co, už funguje, už 2 servery. Ty pičo. 3/4 hodiny, vole. To vás pojím tu. Toho piči s Pandorou, ty vole, nějaký babě starý kupovat šperky. Cože? O to vše říkal, vole. No, vole. Já jsem tam tou dával, akorát bez toho hrnku.
Steiner's medication. I have to take it to him fast.
Oops.
Thank you for your precious help, my dearest Miss Walker. I'm afraid I may have judged you somewhat hastily.
Don't mention it, Mr. Steiner. Tell me about the prosthesis. I need to take it back to Kirk very quickly, if, of course, you agree to let me have it.
Yeah. I just have a few small adjustments to make. It involves very precise and meticulous mechanics, understand?
Will it take long? I'm sorry to insist, but I also have to give a hand to those unfortunate Yukels. I need to help them get across the lake with their herd of ostriches. I'm so worried about them.
Once the mechanical leg is at last ready, I can go to the clinic and bring back young Kirk to you. That way you only have to worry about what happens to the other Yukels.
That's so nice of you, Mr. Steiner. But why are you doing this?
I wasn't extremely nice to you earlier. And also the way the Yukels are treated by the other townsfolk here in my own town disgusts me. So I want to help those poor devils, even if I am in no way absolutely certain they should be crossing the lake.
What on earth's the matter, Mr. Steiner?
The next stage of your journey is the poor, cursed town of Baranor. It has become hell on earth since the time of the last great ostrich migration. Please join me downstairs for a moment, Miss Walker. I'll show you exactly what I mean.
Ukaž.
Look just next to the films there, Miss Walker. You should find a film on Baranor. When you found the old film reel, run it through the spool on the projector.
The film's missing.
Ten mám.
Baranor, the cursed city. Baranor, the martyred town. Baranor has been nothing but a field of ruins and desolation since a week after the explosion of reactor number 3 in the nuclear power plant. Baltimore is on the other side of the lake, sheltered from the prevailing wind, and fortunately it seems to have been spared from the deadly radioactive clouds. Our town was mobilized to go to the aid of our neighbors. Although our town's means were modest when compared to such a catastrophe, there were nonetheless among us some brilliant mechanical engineers. In record time, they developed a small army of automatons capable of helping the affected people. Those men and dogs of steel could go where a human could no longer set foot without becoming seriously ill. Over there, they could be excavators, rescue workers, and stretcher bearers.
Oscar! They all look like him.
Truly magnificent pieces, nicht wahr? The XZ-2000 model is most assuredly one of Hans's major masterpieces.
Their mission was to bring back any survivors of the catastrophe to Baltimore, where the victims would receive the best care in Dr. Zamiatine's clinic. The Crystal, the ferry usually responsible for linking the towns of Baltimore and Baranor every day, carried the new type of rescuers to the scene of the drama, and brought back the survivors of the catastrophe.
So Baranor suffered the ravages of a nuclear accident. But according to that film, the automatons you designed with Hans should have helped save lots of lives, right?
I'm afraid that's not how things went. Because of Captain Opal, who... Ah, that must be Sarah. Please come this way, Miss Walker. I'll introduce you. Miss Walker, may I introduce you to Sarah, my granddaughter?
We've actually already met. Haven't we, Sarah?
I actually owe Miss Walker a candle. Thanks to her calmness and peace of mind, I'm still here and on my feet. She found my medication and gave it to me before it was too late. Donnerwetter.
You don't mean you had another attack, do you? Ah, you're being so very naughty, Grandfather. You absolutely must let Dr. Zamiatine examine you.
Come on, stay calm, my little child. When I go to the clinic to take the prosthesis to the young Yukol, I'll stop by and see the good doctor. Until then, why don't you make yourself really useful to Miss Walker? She's looking for some way to transport the Yukol caravan to the other side of the lake.
Well, I think I've already found the solution. The boat in the film, the Crystal, it must be the ship that's docked in the port. If it was able to transport the automatons you and Hans built, it could carry the ostriches across the lake.
Ah, that's not a bad idea. But unfortunately, there's a slight problem of size, dear Miss Walker.
Sounds like you're talking about Captain Obo's alcoholism. I saw him earlier on the dock.
That coward has been hiding himself in alcohol ever since he abandoned our automatons to Baranor. And he'd rather simply die than go back. He tells everybody that the evil monster of the lake is waiting for him, and that as soon as he goes back on the water, the beast will just up and grab him. Ha 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 ha. But of course, that is the purest fantasy.
Grandfather, I know you're still really angry with Captain Obo because he abandoned the automatons that you built with your friend Hans and Baranor. He was supposed to wait for them. They were going to take all the survivors they found in the rubble to the boat and then bring everyone here to safety in Valsambor. But in the end, when he got to the beach at Baranor and saw the disaster and all the dead, he became really afraid. The disease, the radiation. He must have had an uncontrollable panic attack, so he immediately turned back, dumped the machines on the Crystal into the lake, and came back empty-handed to Valsambor. And the automatons have been there ever since, in hell. But who knows? Maybe today he'll want to sell. I'm sure Kate will be capable of convincing him to help the Yukols. I have to go do my waitressing shift in the tavern. Come by and see me later on, okay? Captain Obo will be there.
All right then. I'll try and convince Captain Obo. Thank you for everything, Mr. Steiner.
I don't know if I really should wish you good luck, dear Miss Walker. Baranor is only an open grave now. Lost your way, pretty girl?
Ty kucháku, nech mě bejt.
Go speak with young Sarah. She could help you.
The captain is just there, next to the fireplace. Try to take it easy with the captain, Kate. He isn't having a great day.
Captain Obo?
What do you want?
May I sit down for a second?
Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry to impose, but I actually really...
You know, you kind of remind me of someone. The wife of the quartermaster that served on board the Crystal after the war. Do you realize he got married to the first cousin of the wife of a machinist?
Oh, okay. That's all really interesting, but what I wanted to ask...
That's a really great story, really. Because, did you know? So there. So the guy answers, I don't know nothing, Captain. Turns out he was hiding in the broom closet. Hilarious. Irina, the wife of the quartermaster, her name was Irina Malevna. Crazy how much you look like her.
Oh, gee. It's getting late. I have to go. You can finish telling me the story another time, Captain Obo.
The lake is haunted by a demon. It's watching me. Waiting. I can feel it.
Is everything okay, Kate?
Not really. I'd like to ask Captain Obo if the Yukol caravan can go on board his boat to cross over to Baranor. But I can't get a straight answer. He's completely sloshed.
I'm sorry, miss, but I really think you're wasting your time. He's getting drunk again to forget his crimes, like he always does. To forget he wasn't brave the way a captain should be. Can you believe it? In Baranor, he just picked up and abandoned his passengers. And I know, he'll never want to see that cursed place again.
I'm not sure that's true, lad. Even if he does drink a lot, the captain's a pretty good guy. Say the right thing, and you may be able to convince him.
If I'm ever lucky enough to find him sober, even for a moment, I need that drunkard to listen to me.
Maybe I can help you with that. I'll make him one of my famous small restoratives. After that, he'll want to sleep for 3 days, but at least his mind will be clear.
You know the captain better than I do. What can you tell me that will help me to convince him?
One thing's for sure, he definitely hates himself for abandoning all of those people to their fate over there in Baranor. All of those men, women, and children that Grandfather's army of automatons was going to rescue and bring back on board the Crystal. He has the impression nobody here will ever forgive him, and to be perfectly honest, he's not far wrong. Plus, he's also racked with guilt. So in my opinion, avoid criticizing him.
Has Captain Obo taken the Crystal out of port since leaving Baranor?
He's been far too drunk ever since then for that.
And anyway, the port's been closed since the tragedy of Baranor 20 years ago.
Do you think the Crystal is still in sailing condition after all this time?
I'm sure there'll be a few repairs to do, but Obo never stopped keeping it in shape, you know. He loves his boat, despite everything.
Do you know why Captain Obo fled Baranor?
He must have been completely traumatized by what he saw there. The catastrophe, the victims, and then the radiation. He unloaded the automatons on the beach, but he didn't expect they'd bring the survivors back right then. He just cracked, completely snapped. Full astern and goodbye all. Can you even imagine?
Afterwards, he came up with that story of a sea monster appearing and attacking his boat.
Yes, the old legend of the monster of the lake. Convenient, isn't it?
Who knows what became of the victims and automatons the captain abandoned?
No, everybody hates the captain for that. But nobody volunteered to take the helm of the Crystal in his place to pick up the survivors. If there are any left in Baranor. They're all dead now, that's for sure.
Grandfather says that the automatons would have broken down really quickly with nobody to maintain them.
Go see the captain. Sarah will bring you the restorative when it's ready.
Got him.
Take this, Captain. This one's on the house.
My God! This piss water unbattens the hatches, swabs the deck, and opens the portholes. Hello, Miss.
My name is Kate Walker, Captain Obo. We met each other earlier.
To what do I owe the honor of your presence at the table of the regrettably famous Captain Obo?
This is good news, Captain. You're back at the starting block again. You have a new beginning, a new dawn.
Now that's a good show of spirit, Miss Walker. What'll you be having now? It's my round.
What I'd like you to do is to help me, Captain. I could even say you're the man of the hour.
What do you mean by that, young lady?
The Yukol caravan has to cross the lake now. It absolutely must continue on its migration, do you understand? So I thought that maybe they could board the crystal. That way you could take everybody there, to the other side, Captain. I know you don't have fond memories of your last crossing, of your departure from Baranor, but...
Why the hell are you bothering me if everybody has already warned you about horrible Captain Obo? The gutless wonder.
It's true, people are quick to judge. But they're not the ones who went to Baranor like you did. They can't teach you anything about being brave.
Maybe. So tell me, where do you actually want to go then, miss?
You won't like this.
Stop going easy on me, would you? Where do you actually want to go, Miss Walker?
We're going to Baranor. That's where the migration is taking the Yukols.
Are you kidding? Baranor? In 20 years, nobody has landed. Nobody's even set foot there. I saw the hellish red eyes of the monster of the lake. Beast as big and long as my boat. Ask your Yukol friends what they think about it. They call it the Kilak, the evil spirit of the lake. The devil guarding the doorway to hell.
In that case, I'll buy the crystal.
What makes you think she's up for sale?
You've left her in the port to rot. She's completely run down. You haven't the money to keep her shipshape. I have money, and I need that ferry.
She's a ferry, not a liner. The girl wants to take the helm of the crystal. Now I've heard everything.
I know that if the proud crystal had an equally proud commander at her helm, things would go better. But as you don't want to go on a voyage...
All right. You can get your gang of little savages and board the crystal. I'll take you.
Oh, thank you, Captain, really, with all my heart. And thank you on behalf of the Yukols.
Oh, but be careful now, Captain Girl. You're not there yet. There are 2 conditions, and they are negotiable. First, we stop by Narrodas. It's a little town just a bit south of Baranor. That will mean we avoid the most radioactive zones, but it won't actually take you too far off your path. And second, we also sail by day. I'm not going to finish up on the lake monster's plate. And it sleeps during the day. The beast is usually a bit of a night owl anyway.
I accept, Captain Obo.
In that case, all hands on deck now, sailor. Because we've got work to do before we can hoist the anchor.
Come on, Kate. You hurry off and meet with the captain before he changes his mind. I'll go tell Grandfather to join you on board the Crystal with Kirk.
Thank you, Sarah.
I was sure the captain would end up by saying yes.
So you finally managed to convince old Obo. Good going.
Teď zkusím skočit za tím hodinářem, aby vydal tu haxu. Běž! Kate. haksnu. Steiner.
What exactly happened in Baranur?
An accident in reactor number 3. Negligence. Faulty maintenance. What do I know? Anyway, one spark was all it took, and then total chaos. The rare survivors were brought back here to the Valsambor clinic.
So you and Hans decided to build an army of automatons to help all the people who were left behind still stuck in the rubble in Baranur.
Yeah. Hans thought that helping the town that had opened its arms to his amusement park was a duty. And we would have managed to do it in the end, too. If only that coward Obo hadn't left our automatons to rust because of his so-called lake monster. The evil monster of the lake. Stories to scare small children with, Miss Walker. Not an excuse for cowardice. Mein Gott.
Are you still angry at Captain Obo for abandoning your automatons?
Ah, yeah. Hans and I put an awful lot of energy into making them all, you know. We thought of everything.
How so?
Our automatons were designed to tirelessly go through all the rubble, piece by piece, in search of survivors. Administer first aid, and then take them back to the beach so that they could be safely embarked on the crystal. But because of Obo, none of that ever happened.
How did you meet Hans Wahlberg?
I met dear Hans when he had just arrived here in Valsambor, 20 years ago.
What was he doing in the region?
Oh, he didn't seem to have any particular reason. Always traveling. He stopped off here and there, then left again when the feeling came.
Thank you for your help.
You take care of finding a way for the ostriches to cross the lake, Miss Walker. I'll finish the prosthesis and take it to Kirk.
Okay. Takže na loď. Teď mi došlo, že ty hodiny s těma bylo vlastně 5:00 a tam byly 2 pilulky a 3 pilulky, takže dohromady to bylo 5, vole. To mě nenapadlo, ty pičo, to mě napadlo brzo teda. Kristus.
All right, Captain. How are the preparations going?
There's quite a bit of work to do before we can hoist the anchor, Miss Kate.
Maybe I can help you out with something.
Well, the coal needs to be stocked up. As for myself, I'll look after getting the water tanks ready to be filled. Take this. It's the code you need for entering the hangar where the coal is kept. You actually need it to use the crane to load the coal onto the crystal. Don't forget to open the storage hatchway first.
How do I open the hatchway to the coal storage on the crystal?
Just turn the wheel on the ship's bridge, sailor.
What do I need to do in the hangar?
That's where you'll find all the coal you need for the crystal. One container should just about be enough. And don't forget to use the entry code for the crane that I just gave you.
What do I need the crane for?
This here is for loading all the coal you get from the hangar onto the ship. Use the code I gave you so that you can access the control.
That, Captain.
We need to set sail as soon as possible, so better hurry up.
It looks like it needs repairs. Too bad.
Too bad.
This must be the coal tank that the captain asked me to fill from outside.
Okay. Nebo tady náhodou ještě něco udělat.
This would be perfect for the Yukos.
Že tam ten jeden zní jinak? To nebylo. Jo. Tak. No a vím, it's tak.
Oh gosh.
Kapitáne? Mám půl.
Turn the wheel on the bridge to open up the crystal's coal storage tank. You'll need to use that code I gave you if you want to enter the hangar and use the crane.
Což chytrej, ty vole. Kam jdeš? To je kotová. co tady jsem vše nebyl.
They must have put all the boats under lock and key after the catastrophe in Baranur.
The way they treat the nomads around here is terrible.
Looking for cigars or some hooch? I'm even cheaper than the nomads.
In Valsambor! The shopkeepers can't take it anymore! The shopkeepers are on strike!
There have been 10 thefts from my shop since those savages showed up! Mr. Mayor, who's gonna pay?
Mr. Mayor! Do your job and come out onto the balcony! The voters want to talk to you!
The nomads are stealing our merchandise and our customers! The Yukos don't belong in Valsambor! The shopkeepers have had enough!
Thieving Yukos in Valsambor!
The shopkeepers want them out the door!
Thieving Yukos in Valsambor! The shopkeepers want them out the door! Close the nomad souk! Throw them all out or we'll stay on strike!
There have been 10 thefts from my shop since those savages showed up! Mr. Mayor, who's gonna pay?
Come outside! Show yourself, Mr. Mayor!
Yeah, come outside now or we'll throw you out in the next elections! Mayor Buyakin! Mayor Buyakin!
Thieving Yukos in Valsambor! The shopkeepers want them out the door! Thieving Yukos in Valsambor! The shopkeepers want them out the door!
We're not leaving till you come outside to talk, Mr. Mayor!
If you were only here to see this, Oscar. Excuse me. What's happening here?
Isn't it obvious? We're demonstrating against having the Yukon nomads parked on our doorsteps.
But what for?
Since they came to Valsambor, there's been no end to the shoplifting and vandalism, and on top of that, their souk is taking our customers. Mayor Bulyakin has to do something, and fast. We're not leaving until he receives our delegation.
But why won't the mayor talk to you?
Because he's a schmuck. He wants the nomads to continue their migration as much as us, but he's too afraid of annoying his higher-ups. And while he's gaining time by playing both sides of the board, we're watching our sales go through the floor.
The authorities are asking the mayor to prevent the migration from continuing? They want the Yukos to stay blocked in Valsambor?
That's what people are saying. The mayor is waiting for is someone to get rid of those savages without him having to get his hands dirty. It's kicking off near the town hall.
I don't like that new waitress working in the tavern at all.
Welcome to our humble Valsambor funicular station, miss.
When they shut the funicular down this morning, it created chaos.
Let Steiner take the prosthesis. I have enough to do with the lake crossing.
No to mám.
I don't believe it. He forgot to leave it open again. Kirill! Kirill!
No, zkusit říct, že potřebuji čudlík. The maintenance has been complete. Oh, that's good to hear.
You take care of finding a way for the ostriches to cross the lake, Miss Walker. I'll finish the prosthesis and take it to Kirk.
Takže starosta v tom jede taky.
I was sure the captain would end up by saying yes.
So you finally managed to convince old Obo. Good going.
All those youngsters trying to act smart to impress the Steiner girl. It really gets to me.
And it's been hard to sell our produce since the port closed. And now those nomads show up and undercut us.
No, tak to vyřeším příště. Teď už je.